I actually had a video planned about the statistics that were involved in police shootings between white and blacks and how cop shootings reflected on population density. But for now, I would delete that because there were some mistakes I made, and I like to make sure that my research is quite accurate. But in the meantime, I'm going to be talking about something that I always had in my mind for a while. And that is something that almost nobody is talking about, or they talk about it, but not in a very assertive way, or not in depth per se. And that is the influence of culture on the perception of the black people. Now, I am Nigerian, as I have said a couple of times in my channel, so I have a bit of a perception of what's supposed to be done, right? And what black people need to do. And I can talk about it because I'm black. That being said, one of the major problems is culture. Okay, there's a lot of things that we promote that we shouldn't be promoting, right? I will give an example. If you think of Italians, what comes to your head? Mafias, right? And pizza. But mafias or Super Mario or the rest of that. But mafia pops up in your head for some reason. Does that mean that all Italians were mafias? No. It's just that what we have associated with Italians is the mafioso, so to speak, right? And so even if we know that there aren't all mafias or violent, that general perception, because of the mafia movies of the 80s and 90s, that has created a very strong image in our head that forever changes the perception of how we think of mafias, even if we don't think that they are, all Italians. That's how powerful imagery is. What happens when you keep pushing an image that black people are thugs? What happens when you keep pushing an image that black people kill and shoot niggas up? What happens when you keep pushing the image that black people are in love with the cocoa? What happens when you keep pushing the image that black people are forever oppressed? You get rioting, you get Black Lives Matter, you get all kinds of problems in the black community. Governments aren't supposed to cure your problems. They're supposed to just make sure that you have a level playing field to play on. And the way I see it today, a lot of the field is quite level for black people. They're just not taking advantage of it. That is why Africans like myself can come into a country that's not my own and still thrive, while black Americans that have been there for a while get a lot of problems. And there are a lot of black Americans that are doing well. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the black Americans that feel disenfranchised and don't understand what's going on, but instead want people to hand them out things that they shouldn't be given in the first place. That is a problem. So, culture is one of the main problems and the main reasons why black people think they're where they are. They think, right? The culture of Africa is very different. And also the environment is also extremely different. In Africa, if you don't work, you will die. You'll be poor and you'll be homeless, and there's nobody going to take you in or give you some handouts when you're homeless. You will literally die. Okay. The environment is very harsh. The government is extremely corrupt in your face. Real police brutality exists. If you've heard of the NSAS movement, right? This is the third world country. They don't care about your rights, or they don't even try to lie to you. They just tell you straight up to your face that, nah, you ain't got rights, bro. Right? So we understand that we have to adapt. We understand that we have to work hard unless you die. Our parents, for instance, okay, in cultural differences, that when it comes to African countries, your parents don't care about your musical skill. They don't care about your basketball talents. Those things are things you have to do or learn on your own. What they want you to be is a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer. They don't care about any other thing. And that is why we have a lot of Nigerians outperforming other Africans as well as many black Americans in their own country. Cultural, image is very important. And one of the problems with black image is the hip-hop culture. The hip-hop culture was supposed to be a powerful tool to talk about real black struggles and black problems. All of a sudden, it's talking about I'm in love with the cocoa. Like, I like cocaine. drugs, money, sex, all this stuff that means nothing and just paints an image about yourself that you have so utterly held onto and made your own, to the extent whereby it's tarnishing your very reputation in around the world. Yes, the beat is tight. Yes, the flows could be tight. Unlike these days when the flows is actually cut garbage. But yes, all these things can be good. But the message is the most important thing. And even unlike the mafia movies of the 90s and 80s, they did not say that they were mafias. They were acting a role. But when it comes to this music, they talk like that is how they do it. That is the way it's supposed to be done. That is cool. They make gangsterism and hip-hop culture seem cool. Now, before you go out there and tell me that a bunch of Jews are the reasons why this is happening, I need you to understand something. Take responsibility for your actions. Jews did not point a gun to your head and tell you to make music videos talking about it, you're in love with the cocoa. Jews did not point a gun to your head and tell you to make music videos talking about gangsterism. It's cool to be a thug. They didn't do none of that. That was your choice. That was your decision. Take responsibility. Change that perception. You change the world. You change the world's image of black people. Okay. Another thing I want to talk about is the culture we are living in also values art. I'm talking about black community, right? The black community also values art more than sciences. But the question is, who invents everything that art? Who makes it easy? Who invents the world that artists can thrive in? Scientists, right? If you didn't have a house, you wouldn't be able to draw any art. If you didn't have paper, you wouldn't have to do anything or even make any music. If you didn't have any speakers, you wouldn't make any music, any microphones. So art is not as important as the sciences. It has its own importance, but we already dominate there. That does not going to give you power. What is going to give you power is understanding how white people and Asians have power. They have power because they dominate the sciences. Okay? They invent almost everything you use. Black people, we need to start looking at, right? We need to start looking at what? Inventions. We used to start looking up to people like Tesla, right? And that's some Big Daddy Kane type shit. Change what you're doing and change your perception of yourself. You change the culture, you change the person. This is one thing many people look over and just ignore, but it's the truth, and it's been the truth for all our lives. People's perception, is one of the ways that affects how they treat you. It's not the fact that black people are having dreadlocks. No, it's not none of that. It's what they do when they have these endowments, and people see these endowments and then they use it to, they attach it to the black person's personality, and then they say, okay, anybody that has this kind of hairstyle, lives this kind of way, is going to act this way. That is bad, but that's how people think. Even black people think that way. Black people are so used to seeing white rich people on media that they actually think that all white people are rich, which is not true. But that's the way it is. Dress how you want to be addressed. Okay? Act the way you want to be perceived. It's just as simple. This is one thing we are not doing and we have to start doing. Racism is not going to end. Okay? But it can be reduced by black people. Invent all the things people need. They won't be racist to you. If you control if you're like Amazon, right? People need you to even sell that stuff. They wouldn't be racist to you. Are you insane? Right? You have all that power. They make laws that favor you. Okay, you wouldn't have to tell them, listen, I need to talk about my rights. Nobody cares about your rights, as much as you do, right? They care about what you can offer society. Society is the most important thing. So if you have nothing to offer and you just have art and a bunch of protesting, they don't give a fuck. And for the most part, they shouldn't. They should give you the basic human rights and that's it. The rest of them is up to you. It's up to you how you want to be perceived in the media. It's up to you how you want to be perceived by the world. Okay? Change the way you act around people and people will change the way they act towards you. In fact, now it's a very great opportunity because now people are talking about black people's problems and the rest of that. Use this opportunity wisely. Use it wisely, right? Don't go out there rioting, protesting nonsense, right? That makes no sense whatsoever. Sit your ass down, think about what you want to do and achieve it. Use the opportunities you have when you are really free. because we may not be all that free forever, right? A time might come when there might be war. During war times, people don't care about you protesting. They don't give a shit, right? During war times, people only care about what? How to survive. And they will kill a black man, or they become racist if that makes them survive, right? So use all the opportunities that you have right now, all the privileges that you have as a black man, because there are a lot of privileges out there. This might sound very raw, but it is the truth. Okay, you cannot predict the world as time goes on. You have to make sure that you put yourself in a position of power by yourself, and not asking somebody to do it for you, because if they did, they would disadvantage you when situation switches, when things become really tough. This is what you should understand, and this is what you should focus on. There are so many opportunities right now for black people. So many opportunities. Okay, we have never had it so good. We have so many black billionaires, even ones from Africa. So I don't want to hear that there's no opportunities. There's nobody putting chains on your hands. Use your fucking head then. Alright, and that's what I'm going to be talking about right now. Change the culture, change the man. And I will see you guys later. Bye.